She will invite our guests, panel discussion members, I should say, to the days as when she starts the study session. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, offering my pranams at Swami's lotus feet. Welcome to all of you here. It is my great honor and blessing to invite Brother Sri Naganand over to the stage, Brother Axay who is our zonal chair, Dr. Upadhya to the, oh, there he is. I didn't see him. And Dr. Upadhya, you've just heard him this morning, to the stage. Okay. We were expecting Brother Balu, who is our national president. He's not here yet. If he comes, we will have him join us. He's on his way. Should we wait or? Sai Ram to all the three of you. Thank you for agreeing to do this, and it's my great pleasure and honor really to speak to all three of them. They have inspired me in many, many ways in my life, and it's a great honor really to be asking them some questions that I have, and I have received a few questions from all of you, and I will try to see what we can get done. I know Dr. Upadhya just spoke this morning, such an inspiring talk about Seva. We're waiting for Brother Naganand tomorrow. And we all know Dr. Axay, who really works very hard for Zone 1. And it's really very nice of him to have taken time and come, and also brought his mother along here, whom I know for many years. So Sai Ram to all of you. Thank you for coming. You can put it here. Balu is coming. There. Thank you very much. You're welcome. So, I know Dr. Axay since for some years here, but I know Dr. Upadhya for a long time, and just wonderful to have him here. And I know Brother Naganand since I was a child. His parents and my parents were really very close friends. I just loved his mother, actually, who was the sweetest person, actually. He comes from a very wonderful family which had a great spiritual background even before they entered into Swami's fold. So actually my first question was, and it is to all of you, but I'm going to start with Brother Naganand here. I know that he came in the late 60s and early 70s with his parents to Swami. But even before that, I also know that their family was one of the very well-known, illustrious families in Bangalore, and also a very pious family. I have great memories of attending Ganesh Chaturthi in their home. They have their own temple that they have built from their ancestors. So I know that. So the question to Brother Naganand, to all of you, do you feel that there was already a background for you to enter into Swami's fold very easily, and then to be able to accept him as a divine being? Because you also came from a traditional setup. So was that easy to accept Swami? Because the reason I'm asking this question is, there are a lot of devotees now who have never seen Swami. And many times they ask me that how did you all accept Swami to be God or Guru? Was it easy? So for you, coming from a traditional background, did the family play a role in that? Brother Naganand, and then on to...
Om Shri Sai Ram. Thank you, Sister Geetha. I think I remember one verse of Viveka Chudamani, which will give the answer to the question which Geetha has posed. Durlabham triyamevaitat daivanugraha hetukam Manushyatvam, Mumukshatvam, Mahapurusha Samshrayaha. It simply means three things are very difficult to get. This is what Adi Shankaracharya says in Viveka Chudamani, which is one of his Prakana Granthas. Three things difficult to get. One is Manushyatvam, being born as a human being. Second thing is Mumukshatvam. Mumukshatvam is the desire to go forward in spiritual life towards God, to realize God, to become Jivan Mukta. That is the urge to become. And the last one is Mahapurusha Samshraya. Now Mahapurusha Samshraya is great divine beings, their company, to be in their midst, to have their darshan. These three things are very difficult to get. But the Acharya answers by saying you can get it only by divine grace. So the answer to the question is, unless you have an environment, if you have an environment where you have faith in God, God is very much present in your lives. There is a worship that takes place. There is a festival that you celebrate. There is a family temple that you go to. And the Nitya Puja Anushtana that is there. Every day we have to do Sandhya Vandanam after our Upanayanam. And every important festivals are celebrated at home. So when that happens, God becomes part of our family. Like that is why we have the concept of a Ishtadevata or Kuladevata. Now Kuladevata is your favorite God. Now in our family, our favorite God is Lord Channakeshava, who is a form of Krishna. And there is a temple for him that was built in 1955 by my grandfather. Very close to Bangalore. Of course, then it was far away from Bangalore. Now Bangalore has gone closer to the village. So we are now like a suburb of Bangalore. It's a beautiful temple. Now the temple gives us an opportunity to be near God, to serve in some ways or the other, to look after things. So what I'm saying is, this underlying current is very important. So I remember, as Geetha rightly pointed out, her family, her father's family was very close to Bhagwan in so many ways. And my father and her father were very close friends, family friends. My mother is also Kamala, her mother is also Kamala. So they were known as Kamala twins. Yes. So the thing is, that kind of a rapport was there. So when occasion arose for a father to go along with Dr. Padmanabhan for Swami's darshan, it didn't take too much effort because our family was connected with a series of great saints. Yes. One of them was Chandrasekhar Bharati Mahaswamiji, who was a realized soul, who was the Mathadipati, Pithadipati of Sringeri Sharada Pitham. Even today he is recognized as one of the greatest pontiffs who ruled that. He was very close to our family. His next Shishya was Abhinavidyatirtha Mahaswamiji. He was close to our family. He used to come to our temple. Every time they came to Bangalore, they had to make a visit and stay in our temple. Yes. His Shishya Bharati Tirtha Swamiji, who is now currently the Jagat Guru, the year he took his sannyasa, the first visit they made out of Sringeri, his Guru and himself, they came and stayed in our temple for a week. Thereafter, his current Shishya, Vidushekhar Bharati, about 6 months ago, he made a visit to our place to say, this is a hallowed place where my Guru, my Paramaguru, his Paramaguru had come and stayed here. So I am blessed to be here. Now, why I am giving you this illustration is that this constant connection with so many great beings, the same thing we had connections with the Ramakrishna mission. I have a book with me which is presented to my grandfather in 1953 by Swami Yatishwaranandji, who was the immediate Shishya of Swami Brahmanandaji, who was a Shishya of Swami Vivekananda. He wrote this in Switzerland. It's called Divine Life and Adventures in Spiritual Life. It's a composition, collection of various shlokas, and the English translation is written in 1953. And the constant connection with these institutions made us all feel like going to Ramakrishna Ashram on a Sunday evening was, for us youngsters, it was like great fun for us. So we never felt that it was some imposition on us. It was like, who's going to go and listen to some old person singing some bhajan somewhere. That never occurred to us. As young people, we were looking forward to it. And so when Bhagavan came into our life, it was a natural transition. There was no problem whatsoever. Bhagwan is Bhagwan. And so whenever we had an occasion to go to Whitefield with my father, we would be the first people to say, we are coming, we are coming. And after I got married, my wife gave more enthusiasm to that. And she said, if my husband is busy, I'm coming, she would tell my father. So that's how it is. So I think the spiritual background is a very important facet. And that's why I was just mentioning, I'm so happy to see so many young people here.
Yes.
You know, all of them are being here because their parents are here, of course.
Yes.
And the thing is that they are, what shall I say, not being indoctrinated, that's a difficult word, but they are being exposed to our thinking, thought process, Bhagwan, his Leelas, how he was and things like that. You know, so I think it's a wonderful experience to see so many young people here. And they will all have the same feeling as I have, because my parents were living in this particular way. Our forefathers are living in a particular way, and they are also having the benefit of the same kind of feeling. And therefore, it's excellent that this retreat is organized like this. I think we should keep it up and thank Bhagwan for giving all of us this opportunity of being here, being together like a family,
Yes.
and enjoying the bliss of Swami. That, I think, is the answer.
Thank you. Thank you.
A rather long answer.
No, that's okay. I had a very specific reason for asking that, because many times when we, as parents, and I am especially a Bal Vikas guru, when the parents bring the children to Bal Vikas class, they always say, will it be too much to stay on for the bhajans? Or will it be, we just will do the Bal Vikas and go? But I just wanted to point out that when they are through, sitting there for the whole thing, this is what they absorb, and now you can see Brother Naganand here. I'm sure Dr. Upadhya also came from such a pious family. I know I've heard a little bit. It would be wonderful if you can share.
Yes, for me it is a very different story. Probably I was very lucky that Swami pulled me to his fold. I was one of those doubting Thomas. Came from a very spiritual background of my family. My mother is like a spiritual teacher. She will make sure that we go to temple, read all our things. She made me to go to the Sanskrit school and learn all those things. So I thought I knew too much of, scriptures and all those things. And the word Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba did not fit into my ears properly. I said, how could a man who walks on 2 feet call himself Bhagavan? Because that time there was a lot of controversy was going on about, probably Naganand will know, it's called Bhagavan Rajneesh and all those things. And Osho was also. So it did not fit. One day my mother told me, you are a doctor, how can you criticize somebody without seeing a patient? Why you to go to the Puttaparthi and at least see? And according to our family background, we do not criticize any saintly person, and especially if you have not seen, you go. And when I came to Puttaparthi as a young man, I did not know that Swami has already entered in my life, because through a picture, I was posted in a high altitude during the 1971 war. That is first Kargil war. My hospital was at 13,500 feet, still the highest mobile field hospital. I was staying, again Swami makes the connection, I was staying with a nephew of Nagi Reddy, the Vijayavani studio. They were a staunch devotee of Tirupati Balaji, and he was devotee of Swami. He was my partner. Every morning, he will go, before we go to our work as an army officer, he will try to give me the vibhuti. And I will reluctantly just take it. He got Balaji and Swami's picture in the bunker, and the bunker has a wooden thing. Those days, very cold. Ladakh is about minus 20 temperatures in the winter. So we were living in the bunker, and we used to just have a open half tin, put the kerosene and light to make it hot. This is how we used to warm to live there. One day Swami's grace was, we were out of the exercise, and there was a fire. Everything was burned out into that bunker, and we were given 2-inch thick steel to keep our precious things in the bunkers, but that is also melted. This gentleman has given me Swami's picture.
intuition sets in very strongly at a young age, and you heard them all. So the other question, Brother Naganand, and I think all of us at one time or the other have had the opportunity to interact with Swami, some of us more closely than the others. And one of the questions that they usually ask me whenever I go somewhere is, how do you feel Swami's presence when you have not had his proximity? If you have not interacted with him, you're one of those people in the token line who sits somewhere in Purnachandra or in the Kulwant Hall, far away from everything, and you just see him glide by for a few seconds. How do you make your faith stronger? How do you feel his nearness? What kind of sadhana should one do? I'll start. And if you have personal examples, please feel free because we have a lot of time.
In the last couple of years, I've been blessed to go to Ayodhya on many occasions, and the temple is being built, and before that and after that. And the last visit that I made, I had to go for darshan, and fortunately for me, the architect, the engineer who's doing all the marble work there is granite work. He's from Bangalore and knows us well. So his work is still going on. So all that we do is we go along with him and to the workers' entrance, and we go right in front of the deity and have fun, fantastic darshan and come away. So I was feeling a bit guilty that I did that. And then I looked around and I asked somebody, how long would it take for somebody to have darshan? So he said, it would be at least 1 kilometer walk because the queue will start somewhere, and it takes you about 2 hours for you to come in the queue, to come right in front of the deity to have darshan and go away. That's it. Now, the same thing happens in Tirupati. There are people who are waiting for 10 hours, 12 hours in the waiting halls, which lead up to the queue complex. You go to any of these big kshetras, there is one Dattapitha in Ganagapur. If you go there also, it's the same way. Every big shrine, big temple in India, we are in that situation. So if we ask ourselves, what is it that makes them go and sit there? Nobody has seen the physical form of Bhagavan Sri Ram. It is our belief that he was born there, that he lived there, and that is fortified by many things that we hear. So faith is something which is inborn in us. If we have faith that there is divinity here, if you go to Tirupati, you don't even get 3 seconds to have darshan in front of the deity, because Jargandi, 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 they'll be saying, and they'll be literally ushering you away from there. But still you go there, and you don't stop at one visit, you continue to go there. Why? Because we have faith that there is divinity here. Now with Swami, because he was physically here, now how do you think Hanuman would be feeling? How do you think the other people, Vibhishana, will be feeling after Rama left the world? We are in that situation now. Did they become disillusioned that, Rama is not divine? How did the gopis feel after Krishna left his body? What happened to all the Yadavas? What did they feel about it? Now, if you look at it like that, we are fortunate that we have been in the immediate presence of the Lord when He is here, knowing and feeling that this is the ultimate God that is there. He is the very personification of Godhead, of everything that one can achieve. And therefore, when you look at it in that fashion, it feels that it comes naturally to us. Those of us who have not seen Him physically also will feel the same way. And there are any number of explanations, experiences we see every day, day in and day out, to show that Swami is physically here somewhere. He is hearing you, He is listening to you, He is talking to you. I can just narrate one incident. Very often we have to go to Puttaparthi for some meeting or the other. This is an incident which happened about 5-6 years after Mahasamadhi. So I got a call to say there is some urgent meeting, you have to come. I said, look here, it's difficult for me to come because I have an important case and I don't think the Chief Justice is going to adjourn that case. Ms. Chakravarti insisted, she said, no, you have to come. Then I said, okay, I'll leave it to Swami, let's see what happens. I told Mr. Bhagavat, we usually go together. I said, sir, we'll meet in my house at 6 o'clock and we'll drive. So he came at 6 and we were going to Puttaparthi. I told my junior the previous day that, look here, tomorrow I won't be able to come to court. You got to somehow manage, use your charm, play, plead, cry, do something, but see that the case is adjourned in Chief Justice's court. So I said, sir, you know very well Chief Justice is not going to adjourn. And the Chief Justice is a person who retired 2 days ago from Supreme Court, one Justice Oak. He's from Maharashtra, but very strong man. So I was sure we're going to be some problem. I told him, you call the opposite side lawyer and inform him that I'm not available, so if you're going to seek an adjournment, please don't oppose it. This is what happened previous day. So I'm going in the car, we crossed Nandi Upachar, and then I get a call, and I see the call is from the opposite side lawyer. Oh. So I said, I thought my juniors called him, hello. I said, hello, how are you? Then he said, no, sir, I'm fine. I have some problem, he said. I said, what is it? No, today there is some problem in my house. I'm not able to attend court. So I'm calling to ask you if you have any objection if I take adjournment in that case. So then I said, no, I have no objection at all. Please take adjournment. I'm happy. But then curiously I asked him, did you get a call from my junior? He said, no, sir, he didn't call. I said, okay, then it's okay. Thank you, left it. Then I called my junior. I said, did you call that guy whom you're supposed to call? No, sir, I called him twice, but his number was not available, so I didn't call him. I thought I'll tell him this morning. So Swami takes care like that. So the thing is that this is something which is happening all the time. So it is for us to have our drushti in the right place. So when you go to Swami's presence, you have to feel his presence, you have to supplicate yourself, and you have to get merged in that divine atmosphere of Swami and connect up to him, because Swami often said, you think I am the body? This is not the body. Don't think that I am this small body. I am Anoraniyan, Mahato Mahiyan. That's what the Upanishad says. So I am like that. So that's what we need to understand, experience, and enjoy.
Thank you. So I'm sure many of you have read his biodata. He's a very well-known attorney, Brother Naganand is. I'm sure I'm going to come to one of those questions. I'm sure in his profession he has seen Swami's hand. I'll come to that in a bit. But I was going to ask Dr. Upadhya, in the same way, because you were just explaining this morning that you go to such remote places and Swami's physical form is not there, and you too are a physician, Dr. Axay. I'm sure you have felt his presence even after he has left his form. Please.
Thank you. I had a very interesting relations with God. Unfortunately, I lost my father when I was only 2 years of age. And it happened so suddenly. So my mother has to look after 6 children, and we had a very difficult time. And I used to, whenever there is any need for anything, even as a pencil and a copy and all those things, she will, because my father's name was Shankar, so there was Shankar's photographs. My mother will say, ask him. So from that innocent age till I was as a child, I thought it is something my right to ask him. And somehow it will happen. Somehow that pencil will, copy will come, and if I see somebody is wearing a new shirt, I said, oh, Shankarji, I need a shirt and all those things. And somebody come home, like some family member, guest, and they will bring the shirt and all. So I developed, this is my right to ask, and he has to give it to me. That is what I have developed. But my mother told me only one thing: you have to pray. When you get out of the house, just pray a Lord's Prayer. Make my wish come true. I don't know whether it's the right thing or not, but only thing I want to say that let my day will be good. My teacher should not shout at me. I should get a good marks in examination. Oh Lord Shiva, look after this thing. So prayer become everything. It has become so much within me that when I became even the doctor, before I leave the home and go there, I sit down and pray to Lord. Now it is Swami, that I've got Swami's picture in my clinic, wherever I am. Start the car, I pray to Swami. Swami, you are the passenger next to you, take control, I am just driving. In the same way, this is what has happened. So that has made it so easy that every step of our life, he is the one guiding. I got through very, very difficult situation in the operation theater. Sometimes it's a difficult cases and all those things. Doesn't matter any doctor whether he believes in God or not. Whenever there is a difficult situation, he always think about, is there a God? Please help me, because his job is to save the life. He's dealing with the creation God has created, because nobody wants anything wrong should go. So there was one very funny incident in the clinic. There was a young receptionist, and the clinic was in full swing, and there was a Jewish lady in the clinic shouting very badly that I came for the appointment, and you are telling my appointment has been cancelled. I did not receive any information about this thing. He said, ma'am, we tried to contact you in the morning, and you are already left because that machine is not working, and she has to take a scan of the eye. She was quite abusing, and I felt very sorry for the new receptionist. She was just a girl in her late teenager. She was almost in the tears. She was not my patient. I went there. And you simply put that Swami's, the teaching I was studying in the morning, I told that lady, madam, just listen to me. Don't shout at her. You imagine if your daughter is working somewhere and somebody is shouting, how would you feel? She's somebody's daughter. It is daughter. She's just a receptionist. She's to tell you what has happened. He said, but they should have this thing. Why they did not told me yesterday? So I said, yesterday somebody was supposed to come, but that part is not there. It is missing. If you want, you are not my patient, I will examine you. She said, who are you? So I said, I am also one of the eye doctor, because I have never seen her before. So she was elderly lady. I wanted to make her sure that she goes happily. I told my clinic, luckily we follow Swami's strict regulation. I have also written actually in one of the articles, there is in Satyam Shivam Sundaram also, that Swami said work is worship. You make sure that what you do in the camp, you make sure into the clinic. So I always tell people, we come to earn our bread and butter. There is no point taking a stand. Even if somebody shouting at you, just smile, things will go bad. So we all just do a little prayer, start the clinic, and I tell you, the things have, in years, it took time, but it is all said so beautifully. We all meet lovingly and end the day with love. So this lady somehow, after talking, to say, okay, you see me and see that whether it is necessary or not. So I got her file on the computer and I said, ma'am, looks like you have got some scar at the back of the eye, and it's better to know whether any treatment will help you or not. For that scan is important. So there is a nurse standing there, and she just called me, and he said, you always tell about the miracle of Sai Baba. Just to satisfy her, let her sit on this thing. And why you don't pray? It might work. At least she will know that we have done something. So I thought, yeah, that's also a good idea. That we'll ask her, ma'am, it is not that machine, and we are telling you not working. It is definitely not working. You come and sit down. She sat down. I asked her to sit down on the scanner of the eye. She put there. I said, ma'am, it is not working. We are just trying your luck. You pray to your God. I pray to my God. And that the nurse was Christian. I said, you also pray to God. Because I wanted to help her to make it. Swami says, make everyone happy. Put that smile, what I was saying in the morning. Literally praying very hard. And you won't believe, the moment the nurse pressed the button, clicked, one shot, it came. I said, oh, probably it is working. Put her to the second eye, which was a normal eye, it didn't work. That's what is it. Why it has all happened? Because, as the question was, that how much God plays the role in our daily life. You start each and everything with the prayer, and God will make sure. He didn't want that, wanted to make point. He wanted, yes, my prayers to make that. But when she was very happy and going, she asked me, thank you very much. I said, don't thank. Do one thing. Just go, take the hand of that girl and just say sorry to her. That is what I want from you. As she was going out, he said, can you do one thing? Can you change that you become my consultant from today? I don't want to see other doctor. That is what exactly. You give the love and receive the love and make the whole atmosphere. Start everything, even before you start, you ladies, you are wonderful. Actually, you are the force behind all the men. I say that it is always the case. Ladies are the Shakti, whether men recognize or not. Look at our scripture. We say, Uma Maheshwar, Radha Krishna, Sita Ram. Try to say other way around. Ram, Sita, it doesn't sound. Maheshwar, Uma doesn't sound. Ladies come first, not that the English dictionary said, but it is already there in English. So, prayers are so important thing, and just to pay to Saima, and it will make the life so easy.
Thank you. Thank you.
For me, it wasn't really that difficult because I haven't had that much personal exposure to Bhagwan. In fact, my first exposure to Bhagwan was not in the physical form, it was an internal experience. So since then, going to Bhagwan was always something I craved and desired and had some opportunities. And I think it was the intensity of that desire that manifested in being able to have some of those moments. But I think it wasn't that difficult. It was almost more difficult for me to be with those that had Bhagwans, particularly those first few years, because they had so much love for Bhagwan and so much physical interaction with Bhagwan that I felt bad for them because they missed Bhagwan so much. From that perspective, it wasn't that difficult. And I think part of the blessing is even though I didn't have that much physical experiences with Bhagwan, and I'm not the kind of person that has Bhagwan's dreams. Some people are blessed with wonderful dreams of Bhagwan. I have had a handful of dreams of Bhagwan. So what I've been blessed with most are the mentors that Bhagwan has put in front of my life. So many of you are in the audience, many of you are on the stage here, of course. So Bhagwan has lived through my mentors that have been influenced by Bhagwan. And so for that's a living Bhagwan that's in front of me at all times.
Thank you. So, thank you. What I'm hearing is, as he said, Swami is not that 5-foot form, but when you connect to him with faith, you can feel his presence. He was talking about prayer, and you are talking about the intensity that one feels and the craving will. So whether one has been in his physical presence or not, you can still feel it. And even to this day, as brother was saying, you can see his hand in everything that you do. So I'm going to ask you that, Brother Naganand, in your very, very busy practice of law, and law is always something everybody is like, okay, I don't know about this. Do you feel Swami's presence in some of the cases that you take on, even in the ones that you think is really difficult? I'm going to ask you that about your professions in a minute, but I thought I'll start with law.
As a lawyer, there's a popular misconception that a lawyer should win all cases. And the more number of cases you win, the more successful you are. That seems to be a popular misconception. As lawyers, we don't really bother about whether your client is really in the right or he's not in the right. What we think of is, whatever it is, what can we do to help him to reduce his burden or to get what is due to him. Right? If he's committed a crime and he comes to you to say, look here, I have committed a crime, but I don't want to go to jail. What can you do about it? Then we can apply our mind and see, well, if he pleads guilty, can we get him off jail sentence? Like you have plea bargaining in America. So if you admit that you have committed an offense, then the judge can give you a lesser sentence than what you would normally get on a trial. So these are the kind of advice that we can give to the client. Very rarely do we feel that, we should pray to Bhagavan for our client. That we don't do. But sometimes, as you go along, you'll find that this is a very good case. It's an excellent case for the client. And you do your best. And then you lose the case. Then you start wondering, what happened. Then we have to go back to the question as to what his karma was. I often joke with my clients, sometimes they do foolish mistakes and then they land up into, a big problem and they come to lawyers, they pay big fees. So I tell him, I think in your previous janma, you went to a lawyer you got the work done, you didn't pay his fees. So this Janma, you're going to pay it 10 times more than what you didn't pay in the last Janma. Okay, so this is your prarabdha karma. So we can't do anything about it. But we do experience Bhagavan in our day-to-day practice. I'll give you one more example which happened in Bhagavan before Mahasamadhi. Normally our meetings used to take place only on weekends because Bhagavan was so kind. He would never ask me to come on a weekday because he knew what my schedule was. And those days also when I come, we used to leave home at 3 o'clock in the morning and drive to Puttaparthi. The road was not as good as it is. It used to take about slightly more than 3 hours. So 6 or 6:15 we would reach and, jump out of the clothes, wear darshan clothes and run there. And 6:30 we would be there. 6:40 Swami's darshan was there. So he would come, he would see if I'm sitting in the veranda, he'll come next to me, he'll stand somewhere and he'll look at somebody else and say 3 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 a.m. And from the corner of his eyes, he'll look at me. So just to tell me that he knew that we were leaving home at 3 a.m. And after that, he will say, yen programo, which means he wanted to know whether I'm staying for the day or I have to go back. So I would say, Swami, naale court ide, I have to go. No, you go. I'll see you later, you go. I leave before Rahu Kalam, 4:30. So that instruction would be given, then Swami would make time and see. Now, very rarely I was asked to come on a weekday. So one day, it was a Saturday, a trial was fixed and the witness was in the box and the judge had told me the previous day that, look here, Saturday you don't have high court, so don't give me any excuse. You're going to finish this witness. He's come from outstation. I want to finish cross. Then only you can go. Please be ready. I said, yes, we'll be ready. So I was fully ready. We sat. About 11:15, the cross-examination started. Half an hour it was going on. And peacefully, questions are coming one after another. It would have gone on for another 2 hours at least. Suddenly, my phone is ringing in my pocket. And I couldn't take it, so I just continued for some time. And then suddenly, in about 10 minutes' time, Bani Balu, please come, please come. Sai Ram. Bani. Then I took out the phone as soon as this happened. I couldn't take the phone. So after some time, suddenly the judge took the file and placed it on the table. It's a lady. And she said, call the next case and told the witness, you may go now. So I said, what happened? We are going on. She said to finish the witness. Suddenly she stops the case and she says, go next case. I asked my junior, what happened? Sir, I don't know what happened. Suddenly she did this. Then I looked at her, I said, call the next case. So the witness went out. So I came out of the courtroom, I pulled out the phone and I saw. And there Mr. Chakravarti's call is there, 3-4 missed calls. So the minute I saw that, I called him. Phone edikala, phone panna, evlo vaadi phone pannu. He said, means in Tamil, he said, what is this? I'm calling you repeatedly and you're not picking up my call. So I said, no, sorry sir, I was in a cross-examination. Now please tell me what it is. Lele, Swami said there's a meeting, you have to come here by 3 o'clock. This is at 12:15. So then I said, okay, I will come. So I called my wife. I said, see, I'm driving myself. I'm coming home. I'm not getting off. I'm going to wear my same clothes. No change of clothes. And you pack up a lunch, roll a chapati. I'm going to eat while I'm driving so that we'll reach Swami in time. So exactly that was what was done. And my court dress, I didn't change anything. I didn't get off at home. She came, jumped into the car, was eating, driving there. Reached Yajur Mandir at 5 minutes to 3. I knocked on the door, opened the door. Said, hi, you come. How did you come so fast? I said, no, Swami called and I came. And then 5 minutes later, exactly at 3, Swami came. And then said, you come, okay. And then there was a discussion about half an hour, 1 hour. And then after that, Swami said, yes, if you would like to go back, you go. I said, no, Swami, tomorrow is Sunday. Sunday, you stay here. You relax here. So what I'm saying, how did it happen? Swami only took care of it. Right? It's obvious. Otherwise, there's no reason why the judge suddenly should say, I'm not continuing the cross, sent away the witness, threw the file away and asked me to go out of the courtroom in time to be before Bhagavan. So I think slightly differing from Dr. Upadhya, you must pray, no doubt you must pray. But God knows what to give you when, even if you don't pray. Okay, so
Correct.
Prayer is our duty. There's no doubt about it. But the thing is, praying God for our grace is one thing. Praying God for something particular is another thing. Swami often used to say, people come to, they ask me so many things. They ask me, I want job for my son-in-law. I want seat for my daughter in medical college. I want seat for my daughter in Swami school. Then I want to go to America. I want visa. These are the requests that were coming to Bhagavan. And Bhagavan often said, so many people come and ask me so many things, but how many are coming to ask me for what I have come to give you? See, Swami has come to give us something. He has come to give us how to realize God, how to see God, how to feel God in everyone. I mean, the beautiful examples which we heard this morning from Dr. Upadhya will make you realize that these are the things which God has come to give us. And He's come to give us not by just word of mouth, He's come to give us by His actions, exactly how He conducted Himself with so many people, with people who are inconsequential in the world, how Swami treated them. Of course, there are a number of stories. Tomorrow some of you will hear some of them. But I think that's the real answer, that prayer is necessary, but your faith in God is sufficient for Him to give you whatever you deserve.
Thank you. And Dr. Upadhya, thank you. In your profession, you have already said quite a few things in the morning, but I know that you have missed out a few because of time. So, Mike.
I agree with Mr. Naganand. Sometimes Swami, I know we all call that, He is omniscient, He knows future. He knows our past and He knows everything. This is a very personal incident which happened in my life, and really I'm extremely grateful to Swami. I have not shared this with anyone before. This is the first time. There's such a lovely crowd here. It was about 2001 actually that Swami needed some, not Swami, Dr. Savaya's hospital needed some instrument for the super specialty hospital. And Swami made me the instrument to arrange that instrument to bring. Swami is very particular about the custom clearance receipt and everything like that. He wants to make sure that everything is absolutely in black and white, nothing should. So it was all there. So I handed over and came to have Swami's darshan. It was in the afternoon. So lucky, Swami immediately called me in. I was so happy that Swami is. That time I had a plan to stay in Prashanti Nilayam for 5-6 days because no camp, nothing was arranged. But I said, I won't even go and see my mother who was in Bhopal. So I stayed with Swami. Swami called, and after talking to how is everything, all the paperwork all right. He is very particular. I said, Swami, everything is all right. Then he went inside, he came out, and then I saw he had a paper in his hand, just, blank paper. He materialized a lot of vibhuti, and I thought he was for me. So he put on the paper, and so lovingly he wrapped the paper, and said, go and give it to Amma. So I said, Swami, this time I'm not going there. He said, no, you go today. I said, Swami, I want to stay here. Whether you stay or not, I'm not going to talk or look at you. You better go and see Amma. So I was a bit worried that he's giving vibhuti. There is something wrong with my mother. But I spoke to her before leaving England, so she was fine. But I said, no, you must go and see her. So Swami's instruction, but Swami said, go, you have to go. And to cut the story short, it was quite late when I came out. The taxi man said, sir, it is too late. Those days, airport was in Indira Nagar. He said, by the time, sir, you reach there, I don't think you will catch your flight, because last flight timing, because it was very traffic time. I said, if Swami has said, everything will happen. As usual, it happens. The flight was delayed and everything happened. I did not tell my mother now. I wanted to give her a surprise. So I took a taxi from the airport and went home. She was waiting for me. He said, oh, I know you are coming. I had a dream. Swami came and told me that you are coming. And I was so happy to see. She was absolutely hale and hearty. I said, Swami has sent the vibhuti for you. She was very happy. I stayed for 3-4 days and came back. No problem. To my satisfaction, I asked one of my cardiologist friend, actually, just see her. So he came home, and my mother, as you know, all the doctor friends, whether they're from England, all those things, they come, she treats every man as their son. He said, don't ask me not to eat or not to that. I preached, let me eat what I want to eat. I happily died. So they said, no, we just want to examine. So he had portable ECG. He said, no, everything's fine. So very happily, I came home. 2 years later, my nephew was getting married. So I came back with my wife, Rekha, also to Bhopal. The marriage, luckily the marriage hall was across our home. There was a ground in between. And as usual, Indian marriages in North, it is quite late in the night. Time was quite late, about 2 o'clock. So we were all sitting there. There was a ladies' Sangeet was going inside the hall. Suddenly my niece came running. He said, she used to call my mother Chachi, she's not responding. So I said, oh, she must be tired, sleeping. She was 93, 92, that's it. But very active lady. She still do her own cup of tea, wash her own clothes, do her prayer, yoga and everything. So I went and saw, and I looked at her. She didn't look very well. And I realized that something is wrong. I took the pulse, same as I said in the morning. There is no pulse, nothing of this sort. I was very, luckily there was a nursing home nearby, his friend's my nursing home. We got into the car and he examined, and he told me something, and I really was heartbroken. He said, no, mother has gone long time. This is gone. And he said, you can see that. Probably, you know, while the Sangeet, they thought she was sleeping, nobody took a notice. And I felt very, very guilty. I am there. And why they did not inform? I could have done something. You know, life and death situation is not, it is in God's hand. So my wife was with us as well. So that vibhuti packet somehow, actually I picked up when, so I started rubbing that vibhuti onto her forehead. And I was, again, praying. My resort is always praying, you know, being my profession. I said, Swami, it's not that I want her, that she should not die. The girl who is coming into our family today, she will face a terrible problem that she stepped the foot into the house and the grandmother has gone. For that sake, please do something. And I did and all those things. Suddenly, one of my other old colleagues came to see me and she said, very sorry. He was an anesthetist. I don't know why he came. I said, would you be kind enough just do the intubation for her? He said, why want to torture this body? Intubation? I said, just for myself. I don't know why this word came to my mouth. He said, just try. He said, don't torture the body. But I insisted. He was classmate, so he said, okay. He said, and he did. You won't believe, the moment he put the tube, she gasped, got up and said, why I am here? As if nothing has happened.
Wow.
And then we brought her in the morning, everything, she attended the marriage, happily she lived for 2 years, and when the time came, she passed away. So, this is what exactly it is. Sometimes Swami plays such an important role in order to make sure that somebody's life can save somebody from the curse of the family. And he knew that time that I should spend as much. I never spent 5 days like this for my mother, because normally last day of my camp or Upadhya, I go and say pranam and go to. But that is the time 2 years ago Swami has given me a quality time to spend with my mother. So that is our omniscient preserver who knows the past, future, and everything what is going to happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dr. Axay. I'm going to welcome Brother Balu after you, just so that the flow doesn't.
So, like Dr. Upadhya, in my profession, I think we tend to pray for our patients. It's, I think we take it very personally, even though we shouldn't. It's Bhagwan's will. So one of the habits that I've developed over the years is, as soon as I come into the office, and this is something I learned from serving in Bhagwan's hospitals. I saw the physicians there do this, so I made it a part of my routine, is they would pray in front of Swami's picture and then come and sit and get their office set. So I try to make that my routine, is pray to Bhagwan. I try to remember before each patient encounter. Many times I forget, but I definitely before every operation, I'll say, Bhagwan, you are the patient, you are the disease, you are the cure, let me be your instrument. I often visualize that I'm operating on Bhagwan. So I literally visualize this is Bhagwan in front of me and I operate on him. And as Dr. Upadhya mentioned, there's times where things don't go the way we want them to go. And that's when the fervency increases. So one of the habits that I try to do is anytime I think a patient may not do well, even at home before I'm going to sleep, I try to send some loving vibrations. So it's not so much a prayer that Swami heal them, it's more, Swami, I want to make sure I give, as a healer, everything I possibly can to this patient. So I think of them, I send them loving light, loving vibrations, and many, many times, more often than not, the patient gets better with that. Sai Ram.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really hearing them say that in your profession, in your daily life, if you really do it as though it was Swami's work in every moment and leave the rest to him, he really gives the results that he wants to be given. Thank you. Welcome, Brother Balu. We missed him here. The seat was empty. He is just arrived. If anyone doesn't know Dr. Balu, he is our national president for the United States, for the Global Council. We're very happy to have him here. He is another person I know also from a very young age, and really someone that I have really felt in some ways, I suppose, very happy to have seen him from almost kindergarten, I think, all the way up to PhD, to have studied in Swami's institutions, from KG to PG, as they say. And we're very happy to have him with our midst. And just to let you know what the question was, Balu, was that in your own professions, how do you feel Swami's presence? Brother Naganand gave a beautiful incident of how the judge cancelled the witness so that he could go to Prashantanilayam to have a meeting with Swami, and the other two you just heard. If you have had such an incident and you can immediately think of it now, please go ahead. Otherwise, yes.
So, offering my most humble salutations at the lotus feet of Swami. I am really honored and privileged to be with wonderful instruments of Swami, sitting among them, actually. Loving Sister Geetha, I wish I was there. You should be here, because I can be MC, Master of Confusion, maybe. So, I'm very, very happy to be here. Thank you, Pradosh. Even though he said you will be in the panel. I said, what panel? Because my flight is landing around, 2 o'clock. And it shows 40 minutes, but it can be 55 to 60 minutes. We really don't know. Again, prayer comes to our rescue. So, without tension, there is no function of Bhagavan Sathya Sai Baba. Because he always creates this, because when the tension comes in, you give up and say, no, Swami, this is a retreat yours. You please take care. That time you should see, all of you agree. The things will start falling in the place. The person who never lifted the phone will lift the phone. Like that. This will happen. That's even when you are in organization, you will see that. So sitting among them, I take it as an honor, because they are all great instruments of Swami in service, in serving the Central Trust, serving the zone, and also with Sister Geetha Ram. I no need to introduce her to all of you. Coming back to profession, see, life was very nice at Parthi, and I finished my MSc in chemistry. Then with great, I used to ask Swami, give me PhD, because PhD is extra. You drag little more years with Bhagwan, then Swami used to come and we used to ask Swami, give PhD. So Swami used to, very jokingly said, Patni lo husband ban jao, daughter aayegi, PhD. So that is the PhD, he said, and everybody laughed like this, and Swami walked away. Then
Balu,
again,
repeat that, I think.
Yeah, Patni lo, get married.
Patni lo.
Become a Patni lo, get married. Husband ban jao, become a husband. Then daughter aayegi, you will get a daughter, PhD. So then that was the first PhD I got. Then I was also, like Swami only taught us persistence. So we used to ask Swami PhD. Then he said permanent head damage. The second PhD was on permanent head damage, actually. So whenever I see somebody with PhD, I laugh myself, unknowingly. That is what happens. So again, we didn't leave. So we kept on asking. Swami said, bunch of us, we used to bother Swami about PhD. I don't even, we didn't know what to do, but we still ask for PhD. See, Swami, that day was very, this thing Swami said, patient, humble, devotee. Same PhD he gave 3 kind of. Become a patient, humble, devotee. So, whoever is that, you already have the PhD. Only thing is certificate is not there. I think through Global Council, maybe Axay, we should give them. So that's what, then one day finally Swami said, Chappu. Then I said, Swami, PhD. Ninnu ever guide chestaru? Swami was asking, who will guide you? Then always we thought we know how to speak to Swami, saying that, Swami, please, you can guide me, or something like that, you are my guide. I said, Swami, if you tell, any professor will take me, Swami, like that. I was telling Swami, please agree. In Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, once Swami say, go and join, you will be in, there is no entrance exam, nothing. You are into PhD. So, patient, humble devotee. So, Swami said, I don't know, then if you say, Swami, anybody, Swami materialized Vibhuti and gave it to my hand and said, Baita poi chusko. Go out and do it. So that's why all my friends say that you asked PhD and you got, kicked off of the, See, then, believe it or not, the power of his word, power of his blessing. Within 15 days, I was in Indian Institute of Science lab, already settled on a project on protein. Let's not bother all of you. All that. Then my PhD started. Unknowingly, I fell under one person who doesn't believe God. So I used to think, I don't know why, Swami, like you should have given that other person is very much interested in God. Why didn't he choose that? No, I think for a reason he has chosen that person. See, I need to tell you, those who are from US, in US it is we do rotations. So the student checks the professor whether he is good for him to work with. In India it is revolution. You find one person, you go around him for 5 to 6 years to get the PhD. So I'm stuck with this person. So he used to bother me quite a bit. So he gave me a work. Basically I need to crystallize something. So I used to, fail. PhD is 99% fail, only 1% success. But the 1% success will make it as if we didn't fail at all. So he used to ask me, see, I need to go for this conference, you didn't crystallize, I think maybe I need to change your topic, like that. He was becoming little, worried about my work. But I was not at all worried. I was kept on doing. Then suddenly he said, you believe in Sai Baba, pray to him. He makes a lot of miracles like that. He started hitting me where I am really, I am very possessed about my devotion to Swami. I never liked anybody commenting on it, especially I used to think those who don't believe in Sai Baba are waste people, actually. See, even now I think, actually. So, but that time it was higher. Because is the God in human form, what are these people doing like? So this man irritated me by saying that. I felt very bad. It was on a Friday. I just worked a little bit and got onto my bag and went to Puttaparthi. Puttaparthi used to be like, when Vali Sugriva fight, Sugriva used to run to a, hill where Vali doesn't come, isn't it? Like that I used to go to Puttaparthi there. I used to pray to Swami, what is this? Actually, this professor made me to see Arunachalam. There's a wonderful place. This professor made me to see Tirupati. Of course, Puttaparthi. So he made me more devoted to God because of his non-devotion. So I spent in Parthi Saturday, Sunday. Monday morning I used to take a bus to Bagepalli and from there take another bus to Bangalore and get by 9 o'clock to my office. I got to my office, just settling down. Then suddenly somebody comes and says, boss is calling actually. I said, what's again? Friday is going to continue on Monday, it looks. I went to him. Sit down, he said. I sat down, said, what did you do on Friday? I said, I really didn't know because 2 days of Parthi, I forgot whatever I did also. Did you see the crystals? Actually. So he was showing me my own crystals, actually, which I worked on Friday, but I didn't see any crystals on Friday. So he came up, he filtered them, he dried it, He took it onto his table. You see, the professors are very attached to whatever they do. What did you do? He said, I told him, sir, you said pray to Baba. See, I didn't even pray to him, but this happened. If I pray to him, I don't know what all will crystallize. I told him. See, that is Bhagavan Satsagar. So especially that crystal became my first US patent actually. So that is power of Swami. He can do anything if you just pray to him, even if you don't pray to him. Jai Sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, we've had such a lovely spiritual discussion on faith and devotion. And even if you don't pray, Swami's love for us just comes through as long as we feel that we are his children, good or bad. So that's been a wonderful thing. Now I'm going to ask a slightly more mundane question, because as devotees, we all are very attracted to the bhajans especially. We see that the youngsters especially really love to come. A bhajan is one of the most important facets of the Sai organization. Swami himself started his mission with Manasa Bhajare, Guru Charanam with a bhajan. And I grew up listening to Swami that the bhajan, which is the first draw, but along with it came the message of Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. So I just want each of you to talk about a little bit as to how important it is for us, even though we follow the path of bhakti through bhajan, but how, or even through these satsangs that we have, how important it is for all of us as devotees to really imbibe the hundreds of teachings of Swamis. The discourses are there, the written material is there, and many times I think we don't take that so much into our life because we are quite busy with, of course, the seva activities, and which are equally important. But the reason why I'm asking this question is, many times the teachings are kind of put a little bit in the back burner while we get really busy in singing the bhajan or making it more melodious or whatever it is, or doing many, many seva projects. And today it was so eye-opening for all of us when Dr. Upadhya was talking about how the bhakti as well as the seva paths just intertwining with each other. So if you can talk about Brother Naganand, I'll start with you again, because I know that your father himself was such an illustrious person. He has written many books. I recently heard a beautiful talk by Brother Naganand about the many books that his own father has written, and I know that you have imbibed Swami's teachings a lot. So how can we as devotees pay attention to Swami's teachings which he has given, along with the bhajans and along with the seva activities that we do? Because sometimes I feel it takes a little bit of a back burner.
In the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna has laid down 3 different paths: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. And it is also said that in this Kali Yuga, Namasmarana is enough, nothing more is to be done. Now, if you go to an Italian restaurant, we are going to order some pizza, pasta, and so many other dishes which my American friends here are familiar with. And if you go to an Italian restaurant and order for some Chinese gobi Manchurian, which is very famous in Bangalore and other places in India, you won't get it. Now, if somebody tells you that every day you are going to go to an Italian restaurant and breakfast, lunch and dinner, you're going to have that for 1 month, I don't think any person in this hall will agree for that offer. The reason being that our mind is such that we can take something of some portion and then we are looking for something else. That is why beautifully Bhagavan Krishna says that all 3 of these are similar. But knowing the human mind, he says some of you will only be interested in bhajan, in bhakti. You don't want anything else. You don't want to do any ritual. You don't want to do puja. You don't want to do arti. You're just happy sitting and staying in communion with Bhagavan when you're singing your bhajans. Not merely singing, because singing is one overt form by which our senses are getting attracted, but your action should also be according to that. Therefore, they said karma yoga. Now, karmanyevadhikaraste, he says. Now, that means your duty is your worship. Now, if you are a brahmachari, your duty is to study. If you are a householder, your duty is to look after your family, your wife, your children, your parents, your society around you, the sannyasis who come in your contact. This is your responsibility. When you go to Vanaprastha you slowly detach yourself from society. And ultimately, if you want to go to the Turiya ashrama of sannyasa, then you go in that path. Now, before you reach that stage, you got to condition your mind. In fact, there is a big debate about idol worship. Now, why should you worship idol? You know that you can go to a market and buy Krishna idol. Then why do you have to keep it in your house to pour water or pour this, pour that, everything on it? It's not necessary. No? You don't have to do it. It's one argument. But the thing is that idol is symbolic of your devotion to God, to a particular God. That is the reason why we do it. So, if you have to do bhajan and that gives you some elevation, some bhakti, it enhances your bhakti, please do it. Same thing with sadhana now. Now we are doing so much of work, you're doing Narayan Seva, you're teaching children, you're going to the slums, you're doing so much medical seva. All this is a form of worshipping other human beings in the belief that they are the very incarnation of God. They are divine in their own ways, the feeling with which we do it. No? So that is the second form. The third form is jnana. Jnana is you go into deep study, understand what the Vedas have said, what the scriptures have said. Need not be only Vedas, it can be any scripture for that matter. And you, by a process of reasoning, you come to the conclusion that God is everywhere, God is immanent in everything, there is nothing but God. Ekam satvipraha bahuda vadanti. These statements we have seen, no? The tattvamasi.
Yes.
Aham Brahmasmi, these are Mahavakyas which we have heard. These will, if you become well versed in jnana, then you are going to realize God in the form in which you see everybody. Now they say, no, Jivan Mukta, they say Jivan Mukta means a person who is living but who sees God in everyone. Now, because Swami took human birth, you have to call Swami human. If you say Swami is not human, then what is he? He is human. But really what is he? He has reached a stage, or he has always been of that stage where, in fact, Swami has said, I am God, you are also God. But you don't know it. That's all that he is saying. So you have to know it. So these three paths all lead to the same thing. While I also believe that there has to be a pleasant mix of all the three if you want to become a rounded spiritual being. Because you do one bhajan, you do a few bhajans, your mind is elevated, then you need to do some meditation. Why? You need to concentrate your mind on the divine being. Then once you do that, in Ashtanga Veda, they say, dhyana, dharana, like that there are 7, 8 paths to go up the ladder. No? So, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, like that you go up the path. No? So, Shravana is to hear. Manana is to keep, remembering it, repeating it, like that. So, these are the various paths that are there. So, the point made by Sister Geetha is very important. That, okay, if you say, I'm going to listen to bhajan and stop there, that's one thing. But Swami has spoken so much, written so much. There are so many Vahinis that Swami has written. They are such pristine, teachings for human life, for day-to-day life. If you read the Vahinis, you will find an answer for so many problems in your day-to-day life. It's nothing, not that to go to some other spiritual plane you have to do it. It is all practical knowledge. So it's going to equip you with, better capacity to deal with issues, better capacity to answer, questions which our non-believers may ask, our children may ask, our friends may ask us to say, what are you doing? What does he say about it? So you must equip yourself. So for that reason, I think it is important for us to not only stop at bhajan, but it is very important for us to do a regular periodic study of all of Swami's writings. Because there are so many writings, we read so many novels, but this has to have a place. And I have made it a habit. I don't go to sleep before I read something other than my professional work. And it's usually something to do with Swami or something to do with spirituality. There are so many lovely magazines like Tattva Loka, which is published by Sringeri. Such lovely articles are there. And of course, Swami's own writings are there, the Sanatan Sarathi and others. So this is something which is our own Nitya Anushtana. That is what we should practice. So I think we all need to do everything. That's why in this retreat also you have so many streams of activity. Children are screaming and playing. Others are going around cleaning the kitchen, getting it ready. And others are standing here, sitting here, doing sadhana. So I think this is very important. It's a very nice, healthy mix.
Thank you. Brother Upadhya, this is a different question for you. You had said to me a while ago that, some particular incident in your life had really touched your heart. In the remote parts, I think, of Africa, you had said. Now, the reason I'm bringing up that after this question is, you, I know, read a lot about Swami's teachings, and through that, you kind of understood that particular experience that you had. Would you be willing to share that with everybody? The most dear one, I think, to your heart.
Yes. There's so many moments, but I remember actually one of the things really touched my heart is the most, and I think I will never forget that. It is again related to Mother Teresa actually, that we were working actually quite away from Calcutta. It's a long distance, very hot, humid summer day. And camp finished quite late in the afternoon. We were waiting for Mother Teresa because she wanted to go and see some of the people who really disabled. And she said, wait till I come. It was quite hard, a very hard day sort of thing. So there was a wooden bench actually. So I thought, I was just sitting there and I saw nobody was there. I thought I'll just lie down there. So that wooden bench, there was nothing. I would just lie down, my head directly onto the wood. And when you are tired, you just lie down. I knew somebody will wake me up that, yes, she's sitting in the car and you go. So I was waiting there. And suddenly, something woke me up. And that was the moment of her life. You won't believe. My head was on her lap. God knows when she came and she saw that my head was on the hard bench. She just took the head like a mother and put there, and just like a mother tapping there. Can you imagine that feeling actually? And I never forgot actually that moment, that from childhood, the one person I wanted to look at, and there she was giving me her lap and holding, putting her hand like a mother and just stroking my hairs. So that was one of the most touching moments I had.
Thank you. I know. So like I said, I'm going into the mundane now. I'm going to ask again, excuse me, both Brother Axay and Balu, I'm going to come to you in a minute. This will probably be something for you both as well. But I know that one of the questions I have received is that the Central Trust has many new initiatives now going on in Prashanti Nilayam and around India. And I myself know the amazing work that the Central Trust is doing through the Seva, as well as through all of the educational institutions and the hospitals that Swami has started. So if you can share a little bit about that, Brother Naganand, I think it will help people who don't really know much maybe of the initiatives coming out of Prashanti Nilayam.
Tomorrow, I suppose most of you are going to be here. I'm going to be speaking a little more elaborately on those initiatives that have been taken and activities there. But broadly, I can tell you the institutions which Bhagwan has set up, it is now more than a decade since Bhagwan's physical presence is not there. If you come today and see them, they are running as if Bhagwan is running them himself. There's no change, right? Except that his physical form there, everything else is the same. Institutions are running as it is. Now, as things go by, we have faced many times with an issue which says, when Bhagwan was there, we did not do this. Bhagwan didn't allow us to do this. Should we do it or should we not do it? So that is a big dilemma for the trustees. Because some things have to change. You see, with age, with time, with the way things go on, many things have to change. So that's the most difficult decision for the trustees to make, is if we have to change something, can we change it? If so, how much can we change it? And what is it that we should not change? A simple thing like how to refurbish the Purnachandra Hall. There was a big debate about it. We should not touch it only. It should remain as it is. Well, now it is done. And those of you who've seen it will see how beautiful it looks and how utilitarian it is and how aesthetically nice it looks. So I'm saying these changes are there. Now, many new things are happening. New buildings are coming up. Centenary year, new accommodation is coming up. And there is a sound and light show that is there. Then, you've seen all the golf carts running around everywhere. And there are accommodation with modern facilities. Most of the en-bloc buildings have got lifts now. The canteens are running well. Schools running very well. And we have the Bangalore hospital has been refurbished. The Puttaparthi Super Speciality Hospital is running very well. It is also getting old now, like all of us getting old. So we have to change some of the machine. We have to have a heart transplant, a knee replacement, hip replacement. All these things have to happen for human beings. So they have to happen for the hospitals too. So we got to get new machines. So I think the greatest change that I see is this Parthi Yatras which are now taking place. They have become huge. There are usually 3,000 to 4,000 people coming in from each place. So that's a huge number. And to handle that, the ashram infrastructure has to be geared up, and that's happening. So, and very rarely, the whole year, if you see centenary year, there's not a single weekend that is free for anybody to come and perform anything. It's all completely taken. So there is not a single day left. So when your Parthi Yatra happens, I think already the dates are fixed and events are fixed. So that's the type of crowd that we're seeing there. And number of people on an average day, you get something like 4,000 or 5,000 people sitting there on every day, which was not so in the past. Of course, Swami's name and his divinity is making all this happen. But generally, even new people, many of the people who come there are new. They haven't seen Swami. They haven't come to Puttaparthi before, but they would like to come. They do come. And all of them go with the feeling that, wow, it's a beautiful place, why did I not come earlier? And they enjoy being there and enjoying the bhajans. Everything is such an orderly way. And the quality of the bhajans, I'm sure all of you are seeing. The Prashanti Mandir Bhajan group is superlative, amazing. So this is just a little glimpse. I'll be speaking a little more tomorrow.
Brother Axay, I know that as the zonal chair, there have been many initiatives also in Zone 1. So would you like to speak a little bit about any new things? I know some of the medical camps and others have happened, and if you don't mind sharing that, and then I'll phrase that with Balu as well.
It's very humbling just to be a witness to the amazing amount of activities. Of course, the centers is where the predominant activities occur. Each Sathya Sai center serving themselves by transforming themselves, serving their communities by being examples of Swami's teachings. That's the crux and the core of the organization. But as we all know, the organization is much more than that. There's the interconnectedness. So of course, when in our zone, what we've really tried to do is connect the countries also. So
do you mind mentioning the countries in Zone 1? Some people may not know the countries.
So Zone 1 is the United States, Canada, and the countries of the West Indies. Okay. And that's Zone 1. And the rationale behind that is the English-speaking countries in North America. So it's the English-speaking countries in North America. And so there's many, many committees that have been formed. So there's the Center for Human Values Committee that is really a seva committee. Their seva is to spread Swami's teachings. And to present them in a manner that they can relate to and is palatable to their own culture and their own understanding of spirituality and its Swami's teaching. So that's a wonderful seva that's ongoing that can help connect different centers to the communities. We have many different projects that happen when time to time there's disasters around the world. So we have a humanitarian relief committee, and that's zone-wide. They're very active. They have a WhatsApp group. Anytime there's something happening in the background, they're communicating with each other. Is this something we need to get involved with? When should we get involved with? When is the right time? So they're always on the lookout for when we can help. And over the past several years, we've taken on many projects within our zone, in other zones as well. We've collaborated with UK, helping them provide ambulances. We've collaborated with Nepal. We helped them construct an orphanage for abandoned young girls. We helped a water project in Nepal. So we're always on the lookout for what we can do to assist the centers, because it's the centers that are doing the work. And then if I can mention, we also have a foundation, the Global Council Foundation, that's been running, and many people are surprised to hear that we have this. For some reason, they're not aware of it. We have the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council Foundation, and this has been set up because many times there's projects that need a certain amount of collaboration and coordination countrywide or even zone to zone, and many people have, rightly so, a connection to Prashanti Nilayam. This was the place Bhagwan ran his mission, started his mission. And so Bhagwan, when we used to come to the hospital, he would almost always, the seniors of the group that would go would say, Bhagwan, we want to come again. Swami would always say, this is your hospital. You come, this is your hospital. So all of us, we have that relationship with Prashanti. We feel like Prashanti it's not just for the Central Trust, it's not just for those in India. Every person that's life has been touched by Swami has this heart-to-heart connection with Prashanti Nilayam. So we have an opportunity to contribute to Prashanti Nilayam. We can contribute by visiting, we can contribute by sending our love, we can contribute by sending our resources, and we can always financially contribute. There's many, many ways to contribute to connect to Prashanti Nilayam. So the Global Council Foundation is another reason it was created, is many devotees approach us, how can we support Swami's hospital? How can we support the Central Trust? How can we support the Karnataka Trust? Some people have their heart connection for various reasons with different projects. So the foundation is the official, for this part of the world, the official link to Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust. So any gift that they want to give, we always try to honor what you would want to give to. You can specify, we want this to go to Narayana Seva. We want this to go for this particular equipment. We want this to go to the hospital. So we've done that every month. There's devotees that come forward, and we're able to establish that link directly to the Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust.
Thank you, because that was one of the questions that I had received, and I'm glad you brought that up. One of the questions that came up was, what are some of the inter-country projects that we do? And I think Dr. Axay already, you have done some medical camps with Nepal, some things that you have done. So there are many, many activities. If you go on the website, you can certainly find it, and I think he has answered that question. The other one was for Dr. Balu here. I think also in USA, he as the president, and I know Sumana Murli is here. She is our national SSSC coordinator. I know Brother Durjati is here too. I don't know if he's here. But they have also started different initiatives within the country. And I thought this was a good place for them to mention it, that Brother Balu could mention it for those of you who want to participate in it through your center activities. This seemed like a good occasion to do it. I know I very proudly say that I'm a part of the Women's Wing Committee. We started that just this year, a year and a half ago, we've started a Women's Wing. United States was the only country which did not have a Women's Wing. So we started it. It's still new. We just had a National Women's Conference 2 months ago in Maryland. And we really want all of the centers to participate through their women, because as they were saying, the women really form a very big and important part of the Sai mission. So I am a part of that, and I'm very happy to say that. But I know also that Sumana has now been coming to a finishing part of the manual, which will be very, very useful for all of the teachers and gurus in the SSSE program. You should all look forward to it. in the near future. And I'm sure there are other ones that maybe Brother Balu would talk about, which I am not maybe fully aware of.
Yeah, that main one is SSSC curriculum. Actually, we should really applaud our, SSSC
Yes.
team. We have 1,500 students and all SSSC students and 500 gurus. That's the power of, our Sathya Sai Global Council in USA. And then coming on to, you covered on the women's conference, and also there is an international women conference is going to happen 2 weeks from now. Some of our USA delegation is going there. You watch out. It's coming up in the, in 2
June
weeks.
6th,
That's
7th,
June 6th in Prashant Nilayam. It's an international women conference. Where else going? Then coming to the devotional side, we have a Shatam, that is learning 100 bhajans in the 100th year. Somebody teaches from Dallas, so you can learn 100 bhajans for 100th year. That's our aim. Each one learning 100 bhajans. Imagine, how many of you, that many hundreds of bhajans can be learned. Then second one, we were thinking, like some places it happened already, Nagar Sankirtan on the beltways. But those who are from DC, be careful about your traffic. You have to go too early. Otherwise, your bhajan, Nagar Sankirtan will end up in the evening bhajan actually, because especially DC area. So this is what very nice, like 5 to 7 devotees sit in a van, go around the city, just singing bhajans, the entire beltway. See, somebody came out and said, the beltways are known to crashes, all that. So filling with Swami's name around the city, which will give, different, some kind of a pure air or something like that. So they thought it's much easy to go in the car and sing. And somebody wants to, even while going from place to place, they want to play even in the, nowadays everybody will be with iPad, all that. You can hear Swami's name even in the flight, and you can record that and put it on. And are very, very important. Sathya Sai Media Center is asking each one of you to wish Swami. Why can't you all do that? Because from region 2, we really want everybody to wish Swami, and you can upload your video, and millions will see you around the world. So, and also we are very well connected with Sathya Sai Media Center. Through the zone, we have a liaison, that is Brother Ravi Nakkina. What they do is they put all the zones together, get all that information. I hope you are all getting Sai Inspires email, and hope you are opening that and reading it. And also there is another one is Prashanti Connection, actually, where myself, Sister Geetha Ram and Axay and Sai Kishore, Sister Prashanti and Sharmila, this team, if you really want to be in that, please write to us. We'll happy to include you if you want to work. Very, again, working together is very important. Working in a team is very important. So what is Prashanti Connection? Prashanti Connection is basically, it will give how to go to Parthi, what to do, most of the time what not to do, actually. So it will give a basic information and also guide you, what is there to see. The newcomers. The Swami says the very important person in the center is a newcomer, isn't it? So we need to give that kind of connection to Prashant Nilayam. Then the Nagar Sankirtan, I said, there is quite a bit we planned, but still now thanks to centennial birthday, has pushed all the way to 2026 November. So we still have some more time, so we can do much more. So tree planting, lot of sevas, open market seva in the New Jersey area, well received seva actually. Lot of seva opportunities, like we can do anything on this 100th year with love to Swami. And I want all of you to wish Swami. I want to see every one of you on that SSMC portal. Sai Ram.
Thank you. Please.
From an India perspective, I think one project which has really become very, very attractive is the Sathya Sai Ratham. The Sathya Sai Seva organization in India, headed by Nimish Pandya, they decided that it is important to take a few, to deck up a few of the buses. They took a bare chassis and they built on top of it a kind of a thing which looks just like Prashanti Mandir in Prashanti Nilayam, and with Swami's photo and everything. And that has a particular itinerary which it goes all around. And so there are 6 Rathams all over India which are crisscrossing India, and it's going from one city to the other. It's going to the remotest villages, and it has a certain itinerary, and they go there, they park there, the bhajans are played and sung, and thereafter they distribute some vibhuti and Swami photo. That's all that is being done. And it's going to the remotest parts of the country, including all the tribal areas, and the reports that I got was that it's merely causing ripples everywhere about Swami and his presence everywhere, and everybody is feeling extremely happy about it in the remotest parts of the country. So that's something which is taken off well.
Thank you for mentioning that. If any of you have not checked it out, please do and see that Ratham. It is just absolutely beautiful, and what they are doing is wonderful.
One thing I missed,
Sure.
actually, we have that Axay mentioned about CHV. See, this is they have the Swadhyaya workshops. So basically, if the centers or regions, they are interested, it's about anger management. I hope, we can manage our anger. So they have from Dr. Sudhir Bhaskar, is always available. It's all up to our centers and, regions to come together as, 2 to 3 centers. We can make that workshop. It's all online, actually. Nowadays, I know nobody likes online, but it's available from Parthi. We can use that, all these resources.
Thank you. So I have about 10 minutes, so I have one important question for Brother Naganand. I've tried to keep it to the end so that we would have all of the wonderful Sai Satsang first. And then after asking him this question, I would like all 4 of you to kind of think of this. This is my question. If there is one thing that you feel that Swami has impacted your life to change within you, from when you knew, before you knew him, what would that be? What has changed you as a person having met Swami? That is a question for all 4 of you for later. But I'm going to ask this question of Brother Naganand. Of course, always, whenever now in the past couple of years, wherever I go and wherever we meet, the one question that comes up is this unfortunate division that came about between the Global Council as well as the SSIO. It was one organization. It became Global Council. The first question, this thing to that is it not possible for us all to come together and be one family like we used to be, so that we can all continue to be friends, and the children have grown up together. Now that we have moved away, the children are not in touch with them. There are so many issues that has happened with that. So first and foremost, what was the reason for Global Council? I know you have said this many times, but there may be some new people, which is why I have received that question. And if at all do you think we will come together as one organization like we used to be? Is it really necessary to have this division? Please.
I think if we look at the historical background, things become clear. Bhagwan used to be the sole point of contact for all devotees, all organizational matters, so long as he was physically with us. The All India President was appointed by Bhagwan, and he used to take instructions and directions and for everything from Bhagwan. And Bhagwan used to guide every single activity, SSC, how it should be done, Bal Vikas, how it should be done, what should be there, what is the syllabus, A to Z. There's nothing that went out of notice of Bhagwan. Same thing with international organization also. Michael Goldstein was there. He used to take direct instructions. And afterwards was Narendra Reddy. The same thing continued. But with Bhagwan not being there physically, the question arose as to how these institutions must get connected permanently to Prashanti Nilayam. Because so long as Bhagavan was physically there, there was a connection. I mean, nobody would dare to do anything without taking Bhagavan's clearance. Now that was not available, so what should happen? So there was a lot of discussion and debate, and then we thought that we should form another body called the Sathya Sai Global Council. So a document was prepared, it was widely discussed, disseminated. The object of that was that the global international organization should be based out of Prasanthi Nilayam. That was the main object. It can't be based out of Los Angeles or Australia or anywhere else. It should be based because it is a spiritual organization inspired by Bhagavan. And Bhagavan has said, I'm always going to be in Prasanthi Nilayam, therefore it should be there. Now, what is the change that we have thought of? The structure of the organization had become extremely person-centric. We wanted that to change to become center-centric. So the centers should be free to do what they want to do, and the contact between center and Prasanthi Nilayam should be direct contact and not via somebody. In fact, it had reached a stage when mid-level officers could not contact anybody in Prasanthi Nilayam without going to Los Angeles and getting permission from international chair. That becomes a highly bureaucratic setup that was not envisaged at all. Even in Bhagwan's time, no zonal chair could even come to Prasanthi Nilayam and do anything without taking clearance from international organization. That was not intended at all. And therefore, it was felt that we should form a body. The body is a very democratic body. It has there were two councils, one executive committee for international overseas organizations and one for India. So far as India is concerned, we have had zero problems. Zero problems. In the sense that the All India President welcomed this move and said, I wanted this to happen. I wanted to get linked to Prasanthi Nilayam always. I did not want to run my office from Mumbai or anywhere else. So I am happy, please all of you be there in it. So we formed an executive committee for India organization and another executive committee for overseas centers. Now in the overseas centers, the zone system continued. So who were there in that executive committee of the Global Council was, all the zonal chairs were there, zonal coordinators were there, and there were only 3 nominees from the Central Trust. 2 nominees on the board and one would be the chairman. And the chairman is designated now as Mr. Chakravarti. So out of a board of about 12 or 13 people, if 3 people belong to Sathya Sai Central Trust, all decisions will be taken by this committee. Axay is here, he knows in different jurisdictions you have had problems. One zonal chair had to demit office because he could not continue. How the selection process was done, who selected, the zone itself selected. Nobody else selected, not Mr. Chakravarti or me sitting somewhere to say, okay, Axay, you're dismissed, come on now, Dr. Upadhya, you become the zonal chair. There's no such thing that happened. It was a decision, and all decisions are taken unanimously. There's no majority, minority decision at all till now. And that's how it has been in Central Trust from the time of Mahasamadhi onwards. So that's how it is running. But people perceive that their power is taken away, and the power is vested in somebody else. And I must say that there is unnecessary speculation about what Central Trust is doing, how it is influencing them. See, in Central Trust, we have enough and more work to do. We really have no time or energy or interest in controlling any other organization. The number of things that we have to handle are so stupendous. And our resources are limited. Number of trustees are we are spread out everywhere, but still we have always had a consensus. So Central Trust has no intention or desire of controlling anybody anywhere. Now this Global Council is functioning properly. If people don't want to fall in place, that means if somebody says nobody should remove me, supposing somebody gets incapacitated, right? He's not able to do things. It has happened in Central Trust. 2 of the trustees of Central Trust became incapacitated. One was Justice Bhagwati, another one was Indulal Shah. What do you do? As Chancellor, he could not attend the convocation. So thereafter, we had to take some decision. So we had to go talk to him. And, he was such a fine man. The minute he saw us, he said, we know what the problem is. Please permit me to resign. Now, like this, if somebody gets incapacitated, there has to be a methodology. So there is a methodology. The Constitution is very clear. Nobody is taking anybody's power away. Nobody can fire somebody away. Supposing you say that someone will hold office at the pleasure of the executive committee, does it mean that tomorrow for no rhyme or reason we can just fire somebody? Now there was a problem in one country relating to one zone. The country chair was found to be not suitable. The zonal chair raised that issue. There was a lot of discussion internally, and thereafter through the zonal chair the proposal came to the executive committee. And we asked them, what is the suggestion? Through the zonal chair, the selection was made, and he was the committee appointed him. We have 2 examples that have happened. So nobody is taking anybody away, but still the word spread is, no, these people want to snatch everything. They want to take our money. They are interested in money. This kind of thing. By Swami's grace, Central Trust is not in need of any great sum of money. Everything is running beautifully. Yes. Everything is running in a very organized manner. But if you look to the future, if you say the next 25 years, what is going to happen? That is where we need to look at and see how to augment the resources of the Central Trust. Now, all of us are aware that the Sathya Sai World Foundation was formed in America because of tax reasons. 501c donations which come here, they get a benefit here, and that money was coming to Prashanti Nilayam. It's not that Swami is asking somebody to give money. Supposing you decide that on my birthday I want to give $5,000. How do you give it? You have to take some benefit, so you give it to this organization, and through that it comes. That's how it was working. But if you say, no, that money I collected, it's mine. I'll do what I want with it. I'll buy a church, I'll do something else. Then you say, I have nothing to do with Prashanti Nilayam. I don't want to go there. That's what the leaders say. Without stepping into Prashanti Nilayam, they closed their homes, they took away everything in the home, including the air conditioners, and said, we don't want to come here. Then what do you say? If they don't want to come, we can do nothing about it. No? So we are saying anybody, whichever center they go to, they are welcome to Prashanti Nilayam. Nobody is going to ask you and say, you're from SSIO, you will not get mashed potatoes, you're only going to get vegetable biryani. Nobody will tell you anything like that. You're welcome, everybody is welcome. But if you want to organize programs and events, that has to be through an organization, and that organization is the Global Council. And because they know who is who, what program they're doing, that's the only reason. So I'm also hoping, we're all hoping, we have no objection for anybody to come and join. They wanted a meeting. I went to Malaysia, I had a meeting. 2 of the key people didn't come. I went to San Diego, I could spot 2 or 3 people who came. Others were supposed to be, they posed some questions like this, we answered them. Now, they wanted a meeting. I said, Prashanti Nilayam is Swami's place. Please come. Who has prevented you from coming? Anybody can come. All the leaders can come. Obviously, they don't want to come. So, that's the problem. Let's hope and pray. I've not lost hope. Swami is ultimately there. He's going to change everybody's mind. And it's a question of time when everybody realizes that their real home is there. There's a song in Kannada. It says, Allide namma mane, illella summane. That means here I'm here, that's all. But where is your real home? It is there. That is Prashanti Nilayam.
Thank you, Brother Naganand. One quick round. I know Brother Pradosh is looking at me. Just 2 minutes. One thing, very quickly. Brother Axay, will start with you. That has changed you for the better for having come to Swami.
I think for the easy answer for me is devotion. He's put me in a place where I can be exposed to those with such deep devotion that hopefully it rubs off on me. So that devotion to the Lord.
Thank you. Brother Upadhya. He has been so good, he doesn't need to be changed. Please. Any one thing that has changed you after coming to Swami?
The only thing I remember that Swami what has said, that don't limit myself. This very famous saying of Swami, to my physical form which you see me in Puttaparthi, and try to realize and recognize me away from Prashanti Nilayam. And I have plenty of these incidences. That's why one thing is that after the Samadhi, I still feel very strong. The Swami has not gone anywhere, and he is very much with us and working there. Only thing, we are missing the strong connection that yes, Swami is with us now here. To get that feeling, as Naganand ji said, there is only one thing. We have to keep ourselves connected with that source, which is Samadhi in Prashanti. And that is what Swami's words were, that I'm always with you where you are. And I just remember, just before the Swami took the Samadhi, I was in Prashanti Nilayam, and there was an interview in the Mandir. Swami just came there, And Swami's two boys always holding. Swami stopped right before entering the mandir. I was sitting there, and I just wanted to have that strong feeling that Swami, you will always be with us. And among so many people sitting, Swami just called me. And I just went there, and Swami extended, he asked those two boys to start, and extended his hand. I thought Swami wanted my hand to let him walk up to the chair into the mandir, but it was the other way around. He was holding my hand. He sat down there and he said, I'll always hold everyone's hand, not only yours. So this is what exactly the Swami's word just before the Samadhi is. So just I wanted to echo the Swami's word. Each and everyone have Swami with you. Only thing, just you read that silence in the eye, not the silence within, also silence in the eye, to recognize where he is around. Once you get connection, I tell you, you will not feel that Swami is away from you. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you. Brother Naganand, Balu, go ahead. In the name.
One thing changing me, I don't say I didn't change yet. So the one thing I observed in Swami is giving 100%. You know, when he is with somebody, he is 100% with them in that moment. That's why millions got, attracted by him. Because when he is with you, it looks like he is yours, kind of. That, we don't do it with our children, with our spouses. It's very difficult to be 100%, at moment, even in the work. So I am trying to take that of Swami and using in my professional and, So in this 100th year, let us be 100% with, the person who are speaking and who are dealing with. Sai Ram.
Thank you. Deepa would be very happy. Right, Balu? Deepa would be very happy to hear this. Sai Ram. Brother Naganand.
I'm trying.
You're trying. Brother Naganand, one thing that you feel that has really changed you as a person from having known Swami. We'll end with this because I wanted to leave on a positive thought.
I would say that if you have to experience divinity, you have to concentrate on Bhagavan. The minute you start thinking of Bhagavan, and you sort of you have so many doubts that are flying around in your head after so many years also. But the more you think of Bhagavan, the more convinced you are that there is divinity. I think that is what is something which I have learnt.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for patiently sitting and listening. Of course, it was not difficult to do that because they are all such wonderful devotees and speakers as well. Thank you to all four of you for, really speaking so beautifully to everybody's hearts. Thank you. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Geetha.
Sai Ram, sir, please sit for a while. Om Sri Sai Ram. Because after hearing all these legends, I don't have any words to express our gratitude to Bhagavan and the thanks to all these divine souls here. The wisdom that they showed, they shared with us, it's so much to take and follow and implement in our lives. In 1995, when we went to Swami by cycles, from Visakhapatnam to Puttaparthi, Swami spent a lot of good time with us, and at that time we had an interview. And when we hold Swami's hand, Swami intai, ventai, jantai, kantai, kapadandi Swami. We don't know why we asked Swami that. Personally, we asked Swami like that. Then he said, he looked into the eyes and said, "Nee nammakame ninnu kaapadutundi." He said, "I will come and take care of you." He didn't say that. Your faith will take care of us. So that faith we have to have that faith in our Lord. And that is there, that is why we are all here, and that absolute blessing is flowing through all these messages and all that. I thank you all for taking time for coming to this retreat because it's very special for all of us. 100 centenary celebrations, and also we do 100 hours of sadhana is also happening at the same time. And I request, first of all, Geetha Ram Garu for taking time to coordinating with all these questions and all that. I request our national SSSC coordinator, Sumana Murali Garu, to come and give the token of appreciation and love to Geetha Ram Garu. Thank you. And I request Dr. Veda, please come and give our token of love and appreciation to our journal chairman, Axay Kalatia, and Dr. Upadhya Garu, our guest speaker. And I request our president, Pradosh Desai, to come and give our token of love and appreciation to Naganand Garu and Balu Garu. Thank you again. We have wonderful programs that are lining up. Just have some tea. And then the SSC program is there. And we have Swami's alumni program in the evening, musical offering to Bhagavan. Please come and enjoy. Sai Ram.